Ahoy, matey. If the siren song of the open sea calls to you, if you're convinced the pirate life is the only life, plundering, pillaging, and piling up that sweet, sweet gold, you know you're always looking over your shoulder. Why? Because for every scruffy band of brigands and their cobbled together, barnacle-bottom bucket of a ship, there is an opposing force. While the pirates rely on rusty cutlasses and a collection of ne'er-do-wells, the Imperial Soldiers have the latest new gear, the flashiest uniforms, and most importantly, the sleekest, most formidable ships afloat. Today, we're casting off to find how a small, disciplined band of soldiers aboard a truly nimble vessel can catch up with, or if things go sideways, outrun, the very best the pirate rabble has to offer. I'm Lord Paul, and this is Lord Paul's Bricks. Hello, fellow brick builder. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard to the channel. And if you're one of my seasoned sailors, welcome back. You know, I usually spend my time reviewing the quaint bungalows and sensible sedans of Lego Classic Town. But today, we're hoisting the colours and plunging headfirst into the high-stakes world of Lego Pirates. It was high time I broke out an undisputed vintage icon, set 6274, that Caribbean Clipper, or as some landlubbers in North America might know it, the Caribbean Clipper. While it might always get the flagship status of its pirate counterpart, believe me, this vessel is an absolute prize. If you're ready to chart this course with me, aim that cannon right at the like button. It helps us navigate the rough waters of the YouTube algorithm and keeps my little channel afloat. Don't forget to subscribe so you'll know when we find the next treasure, and drop a question or comment below. The Clipper sails in with 358 pieces and a respectable crew of 4 brilliant minifigures. She's built on 3 of those iconic 16 stud wide hull pieces, sports those sharp blue and white striped sails, and packs enough firepower to send a pirate brig to the bottom of the sea. I bought this set new back in 1989, so I'm lucky enough to still have the original box, and what a treasure it is. The box is a work of maritime art. The front cover sets a glorious scene. The ship moored in a sandy cove, the governor surveying his domain. But lift the lid and you see the real prize. A variety of alternate scenes, key part displays, and of course the gorgeous art of the ship readying to set sail. That map artwork on the rear, those incredible alternative builds from this set, are pure nostalgic gold. Now, I know some of you salty dog sailors out there are shouting at your screens right now, Lord Paul, that's not a ship. A proper ship has 3 square-rigged masts, and yes, the term clipper should technically mean a long, narrow-hulled 3-mast speedster. But let's be honest, would you rather play with a beautiful Lego vessel or spend time arguing nautical definitions? Let's put the technicalities aside and simply savour this gorgeous piece of vintage Lego history. Now that we've admired the box, let's talk doubloons. When this beauty first hit the docks in 1989, she had a price tag of $79.95 in Australian dollars. For a 358-piece set, that worked out to about 22 cents per piece at the time. Considering the massive plastic required for those hull pieces and the printed sails, it was out there, but not too bad. Now, I consulted an AI oracle, and accounting for inflation from 1989 to an estimated value of 2025, that $79.95 is the equivalent of a staggering 290 Australian dollars. That bumps the per piece price up to 81 cents. To put that into perspective, the recently released behemoth Captain Jack Sparrow's pirate ship retails for $550 in Australia. But with 2,825 pieces, that new ship actually comes in at a mere 19 cents per piece. So this original Clipper is expensive by today's standards, and it really shows how much of a premium we paid back in the 1980s for these Lego sets. Right, though, enough bookkeeping. I think it's time we met the crew. If you've watched my town reviews, you know I have a deep dislike for duplicate minifigures. And sadly, on the soldier side, Lego really leaned into the cloning machine, giving us 3 identical soldiers with standard smiley faces. It's a bit of a cop-out, especially when the pirates were getting unique, character-filled face prints. But let's look at the Commander-in-Chief, the Imperial Governor. Our guy sports the incredible Imperial Governor uniform, featuring that sharp black jacket, the intricate gold trimming. He has plain white legs, a black bicorn hat with white scalloped printing, a yellow feather plume, and those chunky yellow epaulets. Best of all, he he has a printed face showing a distinguished mustache and a rugged stubble. This really is the guy in charge. This minifigure combination is unique to this set. The torso was only seen in one other set in 1989, while the bicorn hat was in 5 sets between 1989 and 1992. The head with this print was also only seen in one other set in 1989. The feather plume was used in 56 sets between 1984 and 2003. The epaulets were first seen with these pirate sets and are still used today after being in around 95 sets. Next, we have our 3 loyal soldiers. While they share the standard face, their gear is fantastic. Their torsos sport the blue Imperial Soldier uniform, they wear the imposing black tricorn hat, and are kitted out in bright red epaulets. The soldier uniform torso was used in 9 sets from 1989 to 1991, while the tricorn hat has been in 79 sets and still used after being launched in 1989 with these sets. They may look the same, but they are a well-armed, disciplined unit. But what treasures do they keep aboard the Clipper? This set has got plenty of interesting bits and pieces, so let's crack open the box and see what's inside. The blue and white striped flags are unique to this set and originally came as one piece, and the instructions tell you where to cut them, so the joining pieces to separate them. There aren't any stickers in this set, but there are a few desirable printed pieces. First up, we have the 2x2 white tile with a map to a secret treasure. I don't really know how secret the treasure is because this map appeared in 25 different sets between 1989 and 2005. There are 2 types of flags with the set, the first being the 6x5 flag with white cross on a blue background. The crossed cannons, this is quite a rare piece seen in 4 sets from 1989 to 1991. The smaller 2x2 flag features a blue print with a white cross and a black imperial symbol in the middle. This was only seen in 6 sets between 1989 and 1991 also. There are some stylized weapons introduced with this theme and one of the few non-licensed LEGO themes to feature any sort of weapon. The first is the cutlass, which had quite a long life after being used all the way up until 2024 and being in 168 sets, but I expect this will appear again if the need arises. Our second weapon is the stylized flintlock pistol in reddish brown. This is still used today and has been in 122 sets. The flintlock musket is a reddish brown in this set and has been used in 100 sets, and it is still seen in sets today. The cannons used on the ship are made up of 2 key components, and they are the shooting kind with a pullback trigger, which is a good bit of action for your ships. There are a couple of variations of the cannon, but this type was used in 74 sets up until last year. The cannon sits on a 2x4 cannon base, which has been in 68 sets up until last year. The base also has some side clips where you can hang your weapon if you're using the cannon. The treasure chests used in this set are the older style without slots on the back. There was a new design introduced that had slots in the back that made it easier to attach and remove the lid. For the base, this style was used in 15 sets between 1985 and 1990. The updated version was introduced in 1990 and has been in over 400 sets and still used. The chest lid also had a couple of variations, but both types appeared in around 350 sets from 1985 until today. Inside those chests, you would put some chrome gold coins that were used in 134 sets between 1989 and 2011. They came on a sprue. They were easier for LEGO to manufacture given how small and relatively thin they were. Each coin is a different denomination. There's 10, 20, 30 and 40. The hull of the ship is made up of 3 main pieces. We have the 12 by 16 by 5 1/3 large bow piece and the 14 by 16 5 1/3 large stern piece, and both only appeared in 3 sets between 1989 and 2002. The bow and stern were joined together by the 8 by 16 by 2 1/3 large hull middle, which appeared in 11 sets between 1989 and 2010. There are some very special pieces that make up the mast of the ships for this theme, and the first is the 4 by 4 by 9 mast section base. This was only used in 8 sets between 1986 and 2002. Then we have the 13 2/3 brick unit high mast middle piece, which also has a couple of variations, and all up was in 13 sets between 1989 and 2002. And finally, there is the mast top section, and with 2 variations of this piece as well, it appeared in 12 sets from 1989 to 2002. To steer the ship, you need a good steering wheel, and this was first seen in 1985. appeared in 31 sets all the way up until 2013. This piece too has a variation to its design, and that is still used today. And once you've steered the ship to your destination, you want to keep it in place with the anchor. This appeared in 20 sets from 1989 to 2010. There are probably a few other pieces I could show you, but I'm really keen to get on building this beauty. Hopefully I can get this whole build done within the camera frame and in one sequence. We start with some bricks in the bow piece. We drop in the base part of the mast and the string reel for the anchor. We add some plates and tiles to the center hull piece and use some black bricks to join the hulls together. Once the hull is all joined up, we can build and attach the rudder, the flaps for the cannon apertures, and build up the gunnels. The bow piece is made up of some black bricks and a small deck goes around the mast. We build up along the side and the stern as the rear open cabin takes shape. Some further work on the bow of the ship and continue building up with the cabin and the second piece of the mast is in place. The deck goes over the cabin and the mast deck is in place. We build up the rear deck, the yard arms to support the sails, and they all fit up to the main mast and the mast rigging piece. The all-important steering wheel goes in before we add on the sails. This step is a bit tedious because the rope string needs to thread through the row of holes in the jib. The main sail is attached to the ball pieces on the end of the yard arms. When we place the cabins and we have all that nice looking stuff going, we have pretty much a completed ship. Here are a few images of the finished ship. It does not have the presence of the Black Seas Barracuda, but it really holds its own, and I think it is great that we just didn't have an Imperial version of the Barracuda. While the minifigures are quite similar, their colours pop off against the brown and black of the ship. This ship may be small, but it certainly looks nimble. It's time for the final inspection. As you've heard me say a few dozen times, I review these vintage sets in the context of their 1989 release. How did the Caribbean Clipper stack up against the competition then? For piece selection, I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. The set is crammed with high quality, rare and specialised parts. The large hull sections, the printed flags, the firing cannons and the chrome gold coins. My only nitpick is that a 4-cannon broadside would have been really, really good. For minifigures, it gets a 4 out of 5. The minifigures look awesome. The Governor or Admiral is an absolute unique and fantastic figure with real character. However, having 3 identical soldiers is a lazy move, especially when the pirates were getting so much variety. A second unique-faced officer would have elevated this to a better score. The building enjoyment, 4.5 out of 5. The process of assembling the large hull sections and seeing the shape come together is incredibly satisfying. The one area that detracts slightly is the somewhat clumsy, flimsy fill of the yard arms before the rigging is fully tightened. And the lack of a proper deck on the main hull is a missed opportunity, I think, for some nice interior play. The playability, though, is, for me, it's a 5 out of 5. The set is an absolute winner for play. It has everything: a full crew, a governor to command them, working cannons, treasure chests, and a nimble vessel that can easily sail the high seas of your living room. Even without other pirate sets, this ship could sail into your classic town and literally stop time. It provides a complete action-packed play experience. So, the Caribbean Clipper sails away with a stellar score of 18 out of 20. This set deserves all the high praise because it brilliantly achieves its mission: to provide a sleek, fast and powerful vessel for the Imperial forces. While it may not have the sheer size and awe of the Black Seas Barracuda, this ship is, in my opinion, the perfect vessel to represent the Imperial Soldiers. I'm a huge fan of this late 80s pirate theme, so I probably see this set in the context of the other sets and how I was able to make a big sea battle. This is an image of something I did years ago, combining pirates and the castle themes together. So there you have my take on the magnificent 6274 Caribbean Clipper from 1989. If you've enjoyed today's trip across the waves, please drop a like. It helps the channel and brings more vintage Lego to shore. Subscribe and join the crew, and feel free to leave a comment, ask a question below. I read and respond to everyone. Thanks for watching, and keep expanding your amazing vintage Lego world. I'm Lord Paul, and this is Lord Paul's Bricks, and bye for now.